Hello everybody, this is another Lamley showcase, and I mean that quite literally. I am going to be reviewing here on DieCash Cars all of the Lamley inspired diecast pieces that I've collected over the years. Everything that has been a collaboration with John Lambert, LamleyGroup, and AutoWorld, items that he's sold on eBay or on whatnot, even some main lines that have donned the Lamley logo. I have it in my collection. I'm going to share it today and give you guys the reason why I have bought into the Lamley hype. Starting with these two cars right here. These are the AutoWorld LamleyGroup JCCS Tri-Collaboration 1982 Celica Supras that came out late 2023. And man, these are a stunner. I mean, the second they were announced and released, I fell head over heels. I think the pure and simple fact that it comes in the iconic Toyota TRD livery. Honestly, looking at my collection, I only see this livery a couple of times in Hot Wheels. You see it on the Slide Street AE86 and then the Boulevard Toyota Celica GT4 All Track. And it's very surprising because it's such a cool livery. That yellow, orange, red, so iconic. And how they portrayed it in this auto world, it just fits so well. I think another one-off that they did with these auto world releases too is that they did all this gold foil accents around the cars, which honestly I haven't seen that before on an auto world release. And again, everything from the car to the presentation to how nice this ultra red looks. It just floored me. And again, I am thrilled to have these pieces in the collection. Secondary market right now, it fluctuates quite a bit because there really isn't too many of these. So whoever's trying to sell one of these pieces right now, you basically control the market to a sense. If you have a non-stickered AutoWorld 82 Celica Supra unautographed, it's going for about $20 to $30, but if it's got the JCCS logo on it, again, which is a little bit more rare and harder to find, it's pushing about $50 to $70. If it's got autographs, obviously you bump up the price. And then the AutoWorld Ultra Reds of the 82 Celica Supra, again, very rarely does it ever pop up for sale, but from what I see, it's going for about $300 to $350 right now on the secondary market. Moving on to 2024 present day, where we get the second installment of the AutoWorld LamleyGroup collaboration, this time paired with Toyota Fest, which is hosted by TORC, or Toyota Owners and Restorers Club. We get the MK4 Toyota Supra, again in that iconic TRD livery. And man, another stunner, and quite the match with last year's 82 Celica Supra. These two just go so well together. So LamleyGroup definitely had some tricks up his sleeves to get all of these together in collaboration. But let's just take a look at this Supra. Again, it looks cool. It's got the T37s there. The one thing that I thought was kind of odd about this Supra is I'm not sure why they couldn't put center caps on these wheels. It kind of looks a little empty there. And they did choose to go away with the gold holographic foil on the cards. But no complaints here. It's an MK4 Supra. It looks good. And you guys know that I am a huge fan of this AutoWorld Supra casting. Just for the pure and simple fact that from a value standpoint, you can get this for about $7 or $8 retail. And I would argue that it is the most representative of the Toyota Supra from a diecast 164 standpoint. But as you can see, I do have this piece autographed. It did come from the actual Toyota Fest event. And the funniest story, I remember the morning of the Toyota Fest event. Again, I'm nowhere near Long Beach, California, where the event was held. I am way over here in central United States, and I just post up on my personal Facebook page as a joke that if anybody is at the show, please go and grab me some Lamley exclusive Toyota Supras from the show. I didn't expect anybody to actually respond to me, but my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law were actually at the show because my brother-in-law is a huge Toyota advocate. He actually owns an MK4 Supra that is modified to the nines. I mean, that thing just looks amazing. But they were there at the show, and my sister-in-law and my niece were able to get in line and get this Toyota Supra for me and autographed as well. So again, I can't thank them enough for that. Very appreciative. And just them sending me videos of John Lambert signing the card and interacting with him. I mean, that was so cool. I can't wait until the day I can meet the guy as well too. And from a value standpoint, it sounded like these autoworld Supras at the show were going for about $25. Secondary market, I mean, they ballooned right away up to about $75 to $100, especially if the car has the seal as well as John Lambert's autograph. But I do know autoworld.com has released this car already, and it was selling for about $20. No seal, no autograph. Right now, secondary market, those are sitting at about $35, $40. But wait, the story gets better and the release gets better with the Ultra Red. And yes, I do have one in hand. This is actually from the show. You can see it's got the TORC seal and it's got Lamley's autograph right there. Unmistakable. And like I said, guys, I'm sitting all the way over here in the Midwest. How did I get this piece? Well, again, I have to thank my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and their whole family, and my nephew. So the story goes, after my niece picked up these Supras for me, he actually wanted one himself. He went back to the tent, got himself a Supra, and was randomly handed this Ultra Red. And as he looked at it and compared it to the other Supras, he noticed that it had a gold bottom, gold wheels, and it was just all red. So he was confused, to say the least. But John Lambert, being the stand-up guy that he is, explained it to him what it was, that it was a chase piece, autographed it on the spot, and my man came home with an Ultra Red. So how did I get this Ultra Red, ultra rare MK4 Toyota Supra from my nephew? Well, I had to trade him quite the assortment of cars in order to get this piece from him. So I will preface that they're not really diecast collectors. They just enjoy cars. And like I said, my brother-in-law has a real MK4 Supra in real life, right? So the 164 really isn't very spectacular to them. So I talked to my nephew and I gave him a heck of a deal. An assortment of cars, which I will show you guys right now. So everything you see here, everything from the MK4 Supra from Hot Wheels, the Super Treasure Hunt, the 82 Celica Super Treasure Hunt, factory sealed Fast and Furious First Edition MK4 Supra, the short card Fast and Furious Supra, the Autoworld 82 Supra from JCCS last year, a spare Ultra Red Toyota Supra that I have, the Boulevard Supra, and on top of that, guys, just a plethora of mainline Supras that I've collected over the years. This isn't even all of them. I have literally a box of 32 Supra mainlines, the MK4s, MK5s, the tuned Toyota Supras, all boxed up, ready to send over to my nephew. On top of that, guys, every time he comes over, I mean, he knows he has free reign to my entire basement full of cars. He always comes through and rummages through everything and picks what he likes. And as an added bonus, I guaranteed him that I would get him the upcoming RLC release of the Toyota Supra with removable target top. So I value this whole entire lot here at about $400. I mean, the Supras are about $100 a piece. The Ultra Red is maybe $40 to $50. The Boulevard is going for about $40, $50. The short card is virtually non-existent to this point in the condition that I have it in. I mean, the value on it is at least $50. And then all of these mainline Toyota Supras guaranteed to be at least $2, $3 a piece right now in the secondary market. So yeah, about $400-$500 worth of nothing but Supras is what I traded my nephew for this Ultra Red, which I would argue is just as valuable, especially to me from a sentimental standpoint, because it's a Lamley exclusive, because it was sight unseen autographed by John Lambert. So again, I can't thank my nephew enough for agreeing to this trade, and I hope that he is just as thrilled with this entire Supra lot as I am with this Ultra Red Toyota Supra from Toyota Fest. So with all that said and done, let's just take a breather and soak in this MK4 Supra Ultra Red, sealed from Toyota Fest, autographed by John Lambert. Man, this thing is breathtaking. The gold T37s. For some reason, on these wheels, they decided to give the wheel center caps, which is much appreciated. It's got the gold metallic base. It is numbered out of 2496, and the 4% rule that Autoworld puts on their Ultra Reds, there's only about 100 or 110 of these worldwide. And again, it was noted that there was only about 1,000 of these at the show. So again, 4% rule. There was probably about 40 of these that are sealed from the actual Toyota Fest event. And to make things even more interesting, the stories that I heard at the show was that these Autoworld Supras were deemed sold out very early on in the show, only to their surprise that they actually had, I'm assuming, more cases of these somewhere. But when they announced that the cars had sold out, they said that John Lambert actually stopped autographing. He probably stepped away from his booth. So they're even saying that the number of autographs that were given at the show were very limited. So what I'm getting at is, even with 40 of these Ultra Reds at Toyota Fest, we don't exactly know how many were actually autographed, but it's probably less than 40, because I'm assuming there might have been some folks who just took the grab bag, probably didn't even notice they had an Ultra Red until they got home, and then by then, yeah, it's officially from the show with the seal, but it doesn't have the autograph. So again, I feel like this piece, with all of the significance added to it, is probably one of maybe only 20 or 30, which again just adds to why this piece is so special to add into the collection. But there it is, my complete LamleyGroup showcase collection. I mean, we'll start off with the 5-pack exclusive Datsun 510 that has the Lamley logo right there on the front fenders. This, I recall, sat on the pegs. Everybody knew it was there, but passed on it. I know I only grabbed one example of this and ripped out the 510 right away, but nowadays this is actually becoming a little bit more sought after, just because, again, it is tied to LamleyGroup. Right now, secondary market sitting at about $10. And then some of my more one-off pieces here, but this I purchased quite a few years ago, and I've talked about it on this channel before, but this was an early eBay auctioned item by LamleyGroup. It is his Dark Variation R34, and it did come with this really cool card where he describes the variation with this car and autographed the back. And then recently, just last year, I picked up this Zamag R34. It came with his holographic logoed sticker here. He autographed it, even wrote the Zamag R34 on there, which it is tied to with the purchase. So really thrilled to have that piece. And you guys don't see it because it's always behind the screen in my videos, but I always have my Lamley collaboration mat with Dream Customs numbered out of 250, always sitting right next to me where I stage all my cars. So this is the iconic I-60 mat that LamleyGroup uses in a number of his videos. It's an actual highway that is within his own hometown there, so it's pretty personal to Lamley, I'm sure, but I'm just thrilled to have it because it's his first mat that he's had in collaboration with Dream Customs, and I know he's putting out quite a few others as well too. It's a small but significant to me collection of Lamley memorabilia, and the reason why I buy into lamleyhype, guys, is pure and simple. The dude is my idol. I mean, I've been watching his YouTube videos for the last 6 years, and honestly, the way that he reviews and thinks about cars has really shaped the way that I collect. On top of that, being a fellow YouTuber, I mean, I can only dream and aspire to become as big as he has within the diecast community. I mean, the fact that he has all of these connections and relationships with all of the major diecast makers like Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Mini GT, Tarmac Works, Autoworld. I mean, one could only dream to become a figure within the hobby. So if anything at all, guys, these cars right here just serve as a symbol of hope of what my channel could become someday. I mean, on top of that, guys, I am just surprised by how many autographs I have from John Lambert without ever having actually met the guy. I have had very little interaction with the guy on social media. I believe he commented on maybe one of my videos, and he's probably shared maybe 1 or 2 of my Instagram posts. I do recall back in like 2018 or 2019, he actually posted on Facebook or Instagram that he was looking for diecast collectors who could actually contribute to the Lamley blog, and I just remember I was so thrilled about that opportunity. I wrote him a very detailed email just explaining why I would be good to be a writer within his blog. Unfortunately, John Lambert never responded to me, or maybe he just hasn't. I mean, it's been 6 years, but maybe he's taking his time. But I guess LamleyGroup, John Lambert, if you're watching this video, just know that the offer still stands. Obviously, back then I didn't have the credentials that I have nowadays, but if you're ever looking for another partner within the LamleyGroup, feel free to give me a shout out. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.